Hi everyone, before we begin, quick message. Support for this episode is brought to you by Manscaped, the best in men's below the waist grooming. Manscaped recently launched the men's ultimate hygiene bundle, their performance package 4.0. They sent it over to us. Join over 4 million men worldwide who trust Manscaped with this exclusive offer for you, 20% off and free worldwide shipping with the code TPR at manscaped.com. If you saw the previous episode, we showed their products. This is episode 142, I think, and they sent us over a whole bunch of things. Sergio and I tested them over. Check that episode out for details. Get 20% off and free shipping with the code TPR at manscaped.com. That's 20% off with free shipping at manscaped.com and use code TPR. Unlock your confidence and always use the right tools for the job with Manscaped. And now, the Batman review.
TPR.
So, you saw the movie.
I did see the movie.
When did you see it? You saw it way before me, I think. I saw it on Saturday.
I saw it on the Thursday it came out here.
Okay.
So I saw it almost a week ago.
Okay. So just straight up, before any of the specifics, no context, out of 10,
No context.
how much would you give it?
9.
9? Really?
I would give it a 9, yeah.
Okay.
I wouldn't give any movie a 10. Like, what is a 10 movie? What would you say is a 10?
I don't, people ask, I've thought about, like, what's my favorite movie? I don't know if I have one. Like, I like a lot of movies.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'd oppose.
What's your, do you have a favorite movie?
Like, a favorite movie of all time, I've always found it hard to, like, I'm using the pretentious interview voice now.
Yeah.
I've always found it hard to choose between Indiana Jones, Back to the Future, or the first Star Wars.
Right.
But, like, what's like the perfect movie? For me, I would think personally it would have to be Back to the Future because I can't find any flaw in it. Okay. It is perfect. The entire narrative, the structure, each of the shots, the characterization, the acting, just everything is just phenomenal in that movie.
Yeah. So
for me,
movie that came out in the late 80s, early 90s, and since then, nothing.
Exactly. Yeah. Everything else is just trying to beat that. But yeah.
Right. Okay. I would give the Batman movie, controversially, like a 7.5.
You would give it a 7.5.
Yeah.
The expert in the Batman.
Yes, I appreciate this completely unplanned for credit. But yeah. Okay. I don't know. Maybe I'm being too nitpicky. The problem is that when you want to analyze, that thing where people go to movies, they watch movies, they like movies, that's the end of the story. But people go to movies, they talk about movies. Now it's like, oh, but what about this? What about that? I might be over analyzing, and then nothing really holds up to any analysis anyway. But
I think if before you asked me, I would have probably given it a 10. But then when you asked me, you put me on the spot, and I was like, I can't say it's a 10 now, can I?
Yeah.
Like, what's a 10? So yeah, okay.
So
but out of all the Batman movies, where would you rank it out of 10?
Out of all the Batman movies, like, are you saying is this the best Batman movie of all time?
Yeah, let's just cut to the shit. Like,
would you say I think
the best Batman movie. We're not talking about the Batman yet, or the individual elements of it. But as a movie, would you say it's the best?
I think the first Batman movie, Michael Keaton's movie, I think that was, I feel like I would rank that higher, even though that's, it's completely different in terms of tone or whatever. But because everyone's age is what they correspond their taste to. Yeah. So I think maybe that, like, would you put this above the Nolan movies?
Most certainly. I have, I was thinking about this, right? And watching this movie made me realize how much I disliked the Nolan movies. Right. There was something about it that I could not put my finger on. Like, I don't know if this settles well with me. It's like when I eat Pakistani food. Like, I enjoy the experience, but then afterwards I regret it somehow. And that's how I felt with the Nolan movies.
Right.
Because after watching this, I realized that I really did not enjoy those Nolan movies. Like, they just don't feel like Batman movies. Well, then we're going to go into the specifics, aren't we? So we're going to talk about specifically in the Nolan movies. I really didn't like Christian Bale and his, like, just... I'm sucking on a lemon face.
He's constantly pouting. Even when his when he's
Yeah.
not saying something, his mouth is just open in that pout, form.
And I comparatively feel now, compared to like Keaton, even Batfleck, and now Robert Pattinson, that he had the least amount of personality.
Yeah.
Like the only thing, like if I was going to do an impression of him, I keep cutting you off. It's just because I've had too much coffee.
No, that's fine.
It's because I missed yesterday. Is that other than the voice, there was just nothing unique, or there was just no personality to anything that he did.
I mean,
other than this voice.
The voice.
Bring me.
That's a bit harsh. That is a bit harsh that there's no personality. But I think the problem with that was, firstly, the voice has been ruined for me by Pete Holmes and his Batman series. Now, the voice is a joke. I cannot take it seriously at all.
It became a joke. Yeah.
But I think the Nolan movies, the problem was they were never really Batman movies. They weren't. You could replace Batman with anybody. Yeah. Which is when they made Skyfall. That was pretty much The Dark Knight. And
that's it. That's a very good comparison.
Yeah.
They feel like James Bond movies with black ears.
Yeah. So I mean, there is, and they're not, because they're not going all the way or like further into this dude is a superhero. They are never really, they don't really give us that feeling. They're great movies as a movie.
As like arts.
Yeah. Like great shots, great, the story is fine, etc. But if we're talking Batman, they don't really go there. And this was like just Gotham is
this felt like the most Batmaniest out of them all. Having like Adam West at the bottom as like the least Batman out of the Batmen. Or perhaps like for his time, that probably was what Batman was like. Maybe in the 60s, that was what the whole vibe was. But another thing that this put into perspective for me was how I feel about Ben Affleck. Because if you remember when we saw the Snyder cut, I was like, we were raving about Batfleck. We were like, oh, wow, we love this guy. He's amazing.
Yeah.
But then just having seen this movie where you've got Batman and a Bruce Wayne that actually seems really messed up. And he like saw his parents murdered as a child, and that kind of baggage, you actually see that this time.
Right.
And you feel like this is a guy that, I could actually discuss things with this guy and be like, you're messed up.
Right.
Like, you need help. Bro, what are you doing? Like, this whole Batman thing isn't cool. Whereas, what's his name? Now I forgot his name. From the Nolan ones.
Bale.
He just seemed to just bounce right off it. He was like, yeah, whatever, shrugged it off. Bit sad, went on a world tour, learned some kung fu. Now we're going to come back and fix everything.
Yeah.
Like, he seemed to have a plan.
Yeah.
And he went through it very well.
He had a plan, and it really, it also worked out. Like the Joker thing didn't go so well. It got serious.
Yeah.
And then he started off the other one, like overconfident and a bit broken. But he seemed more sane than definitely Robert Pattinson. And even more than Ben Affleck, because I saw this Screen Crush video about why Ben Affleck, before this they made it, why Ben Affleck is the best Batman of all time. And in that video they were like, we've never seen a Batman who's like defeated, because Ben Affleck's Batman has lost. Gotham City, he's been doing it for 20 years because he's the
Batman
oldest,
versus
right?
Superman.
Yeah. They're like, he's been doing it for so long, and
they undid that in the second movie.
And that's why
Robin died, apparently.
Robin died very publicly, and
he's pissed off.
So Superman is like, oh, if I defeat this guy because I think he's this huge threat, then I have a contribution that's worth it. Wayne Manor burnt down, he never fixed it, that sort of thing. And then they sort of, in Justice League, he goes towards, okay, no, there's hope. I'll build this team. I'll do that, whatever. But I still prefer Ben Affleck over Rob. So I think in my Batman rankings, I'm putting Ben Affleck from BVS Ultimate Edition at the top.
Okay. All right,
then
fine.
Close second, Robert Pattinson. Then third, normal distance between 2 and 3, Michael Keaton. And then
I will give you that.
Then 4, I mean, I do like Christian Bale. Like he tried to do something, and they were very different movies. But then fourth is Christian Bale, and then I don't hate Val Kilmer.
Okay.
I don't hate Val Kilmer as much, but George Clooney is like 28th.
But you like him more than George Clooney. Okay.
Oh yeah. Okay. George Clooney never gave a shit. George Clooney did not care. I don't think the whole movie.
Although the one thing I'd give George, see, it's happening again.
Okay.
The one thing I'd give George Clooney credit for, though, was that he emulated Adam West's style completely. Like that was basically the 1960s Batman in film.
Robert Pattinson, I liked his Batman. I liked his awkward, stiff walk when he would just come out of the shadows.
Yeah.
I like that. Ben Affleck's fight, it was the best Batman fight. Still the best Batman
fight. The warehouse one.
Yeah, the warehouse fight.
The warehouse fight, yeah.
Robert's Bruce Wayne, I found very emo, very stiff, very I don't know what they were going for, what he was going for, because Christian Bale did not do that in year one.
No.
This is year two. It seems like he was really leaning into the, hashtag damaged kind of thing of it all. And towards the end, he feels better about Alfred. So there's that growth, I guess.
Yeah.
And he said that, he's gone through this tragedy. He's never going to be this playboy character as he's been in the past.
Yeah.
I mean, sure. But it was still like very stiff, right? So maybe he was doing too much of something that if scaled back, I would have appreciated more.
But don't you think that basically he's the same person? He doesn't have that distinction yet. He doesn't have that split persona where he's Bruce Wayne and Batman. I feel like in this, he is just that one person. His Batman is Bruce Wayne and Bruce Wayne is Batman. And there is no jump.
Yeah.
And the only way people don't make that connection is because he doesn't meet anyone.
Yeah. I think if in the sequel, his Bruce Wayne is more different than his Batman, then I will appreciate this Bruce Wayne more. Because it shows that
he's been on a journey.
Yeah. But let's talk about the story of this movie. Like how you felt about it. My biggest reason for giving this a 7.5 is firstly, Batman lost. He did not figure out any of the clues.
No.
And at the end, also, he didn't stop the explosions.
Everything happened.
Yeah, he saved some of the people, but most of them died.
From drowning.
Yeah. Most of the city drowned and died. And this was still like nearly a 3-hour movie. That was my problem. What I loved was I liked the relationship with Selina. She also got her own story, motivation. She wasn't just sidekicking. Penguin was great.
She wasn't just Anne Hathaway.
Yeah.
Oh my God, Penguin! Yeah, how cool was Penguin in this?
Yeah,
I like gangster Penguin more than psychopath. I like this vibe that they've gone with.
Yeah,
with just like the very Robert De Niro, his portrayal. I felt.
Yeah, Falcone. I think Falcone was good, creepy, soft spoken. Did his job. Favorite scene in the movie: Batmobile revving before the chase.
Yes! Is that not amazing? The introduction of the Batmobile with the red flames.
Yeah.
I love that. I have that as a gift. It's amazing.
And they keep showing it, right? Like the engine in various states of being put together before that. But that was great. That was super, super good. I liked the Gordon was also fair. He was pretty good. The detective bit was all right. I like the tone.
No, don't gloss over that. The fact that we actually saw Batman being more intellectual and using his brain instead of doing CrossFit and just punching through walls, which is what Ben Affleck did. This guy's muscles were in his brain. Yeah. So just having him figure things out and actually go on some sort of just seemed like the learning man's Batman, like someone that's read a book.
Yeah.
Unlike all the other ones, Nolan's was he was just a ninja. And
he did a tiny bit. Christian Bale did a tiny bit.
With the bullets?
With the bullets, yes, exactly.
The computer did it. He did nothing.
Yeah.
He just asked the computer to do it.
that slow detective thing, I
Yeah.
think really was they did a disservice to it
Yeah.
by the big thing at the end. They have to have like the
Yes.
superhero movie ending.
Yeah.
I understand that the plan was going there, but you know, I would have preferred if they had avoided the big superhero ending by Batman figuring out
Yeah.
one of the clues, like even just the final one, and he stops it before it happens. But I think they also needed that because then now Batman is like in the public and he's working with the National Guard, and you
Yeah.
know, and he had to have that thing. I don't know. How did you feel about the movie and the story and everything?
He's gone on a very different trajectory compared to Christian Bale's Batman, where he had to remain in the shadows and he was the hero that the city needs, not the one that they deserve, or whatever that line was.
Yeah.
Whereas in this one, he's very much he's like pretty much like a designated detective now. Like he might as well wear a uniform with a badge on it because he's out in the open. But what about the ending? Like the entire movie had this very like Seven storyline and plot line and that feel going on with it.
Yeah.
And I think the movie pretty much ended once they got the Riddler and he was in prison. That was pretty much the ending. They could have just added some sort of twist there and ended the movie. All that shit with the dams and the sports arena and all that was completely tacked on. It seemed like a completely different film.
Yeah.
In fact, that seems like something that Nolan did in one of the movies. I think it was in the second one, wasn't it? That was the Joker's plan, but that involved boats or something.
Yeah. Yeah. Boats blowing each other up because the people are inherently bad. That was the Joker's thing. Also, one thing I had proper issues with. This Batman is completely bulletproof. Completely shots to the face.
True. Yeah.
And
yeah.
Nothing gets through. And I was like, that's so then where's the danger?
Wasn't there a point where someone was about to shoot him in the eye or something? Like, they knew that was the one part where he wasn't bulletproof. So he was getting closer to him. Didn't Catwoman basically save his ass? Like, basically, Batman lost. He was like almost dead. Yeah. And then Catwoman saves him or something, right? Something else happens.
Yeah.
He's rescued.
Yeah. Yeah. Catwoman saves him, and then she's almost dying, and he injects himself with like
there you go
venom, Bane juice
with the green shit. Yeah.
But yeah, I mean,
I actually like that. I like his reaction and him going berserk.
Yeah. But I think environment wise, world building wise, it was really good, this movie.
World building, that's a great point. I feel like this built a very unique world compared to like the Nolan and the Burton Gothams and Batman, and there's this whole backstory now. Like, why the fuck's he living in a building? Like, what happened to Wayne Manor? Why is it an orphanage? Like, there's all this stuff that's happened. Like, I love the fact that Wayne Manor has the Wayne building has an underground railroad station or something.
Yeah.
That's the Batcave.
Yeah.
Like, where's all that stuff? I want to know about that. That's the movie they need to make.
So, things we liked. Batmobile.
Battinson, Batmobile, Penguin.
Yeah. Penguin. Gotham.
Pretty much everything. Like, it's easier to count the things we didn't like.
Right. I didn't like that he failed at everything. And I didn't like he was a bit too stiff emo for
Shit
me.
Batman.
Yeah. And I didn't like
too emo.
The last half hour, which was just forced, it seemed, onto the movie. But yeah. What about you?
I will agree with the last part. I didn't like the ending, like that last 30 minutes of the movie, which just seems like a separate movie.
Yeah.
I didn't like the theme. I feel like they could have gone more. It just seems like a very basic music motif that they use.
Right.
Yeah, I didn't like the Batman theme.
Yeah.
They used it a lot. It keeps coming up.
A lot.
And a lot.
Yeah.
And it was just so much nothingness.
Some people really
I still think
some people really did like it though. Like I agree that it was very simplistic. You're more in the music thing on a day-to-day real life perspective. So, we can't just disregard that this is Rahil's personal opinion. This is also your professional opinion. But
because I am a professional Look at the bass amp behind me. You know, I know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Headphones. top shelf. Pro guy right here.
Yeah.
But like for me, the epitome, big word, dictionaries, is the Burton Batman theme, the one by Danny Elfman.
Yeah.
Which they brought back for the shitty
Justice League.
Justice League. They used it in that,
Yeah.
So I like that. That's my favorite Batman theme. That is the Batman theme.
Yeah.
This one is just, this would rank below even Hans Zimmerman's score for the Nolan movies.
Right.
Because even that had something really memorable.
Yeah.
This is just nothing.
It's just like two, three notes
it's like
played over and over.
Or something. I don't know. Yeah, just
Yeah. Just the spacing between them, between the repetitions changes, but it's just
What I did like, though, talking about the score, is the use of Ave Maria for the Riddler. The Riddler's theme I thought that was very well done.
Right.
Well done.
Right.
Michael Giacchino.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, where does the Riddler rank? What do you think about him? And where does he rank in Bat movie villains thus far?
Okay, let's do the ranking first. What are my options for the ranking? Like, how far are we going with this?
There's not that many movies, right? So there's all of them. So there's three.
What,
three
Jim
Jokers.
Carrey?
Yeah.
No, we're talking about Riddlers now.
No.
How many Riddlers are there? There's Jim Carrey.
Amongst all Batman movie villains so far.
Oh, shit. Okay, that just got serious now. I feel like this guy was the most dangerous.
Right.
Because you actually just saw him just murder people. Like straight up just beat the shit out of them. There was no plan. There was no plots.
Yeah.
There was no like theatricality behind it. He like beat someone to death and then taped his face shut, or he installed a bomb to their neck. Like this was some proper Saw level shit. Like this was proper serial killer.
Yeah.
And I don't think any of the other Batman movies had serial killers. Like Bane was like a mercenary with like a breathing problem and like a stupid voice.
Terrorist mercenary. Yeah.
Yeah. And Heath Ledger's Joker was more of like an anarchist.
Yeah.
Like, you know, he was like schemer, right? Other than the pencil thing.
Yeah.
Did we ever actually see him like kill anyone?
Right? No. I think
he might have run someone over with a bus or something.
Yeah. The scars thing. How'd you get these scars? Maybe he gave someone scars. No, he was going to give somebody scars at the party in Wayne Tower. Then Batman shows up.
Yeah.
He blows up Rachel and Harvey Dent. Okay. He doesn't do anything.
But the way he kills people is like a very like theatrical movie bad guy way. This guy kills people like, you know, probably someone probably does kill people. Like this is like some very realistic shit that's going on. It's all based on an actual serial killer as well, like on the Zodiac killer that did like had a murder spree in like the 60s or 70s or something. So like out of the one that would give me nightmares, I would say this Riddler is at the top.
Right.
But as the one that like I would actually just enjoy watching and I would actually love to see come back would be Jack Nicholson's Joker, because he's just so much fun.
Yeah. Even Danny DeVito's Penguin was like weird and gross, but like a real comic book.
They're characters.
Villain.
Yeah.
Do you think they handled the balance of realism versus comic book superhero thing here better than Nolan? Because that's the only comparison, right? The other movies.
Okay, so Nolan's realism stemmed from just the environments, like all the locations. He shot in a lot of locations. He just shot in Chicago and made it look like New York or whatever. He went to like India to shoot like one scene of Bruce climbing out of the hole. I think they went to Hong Kong for that. The parachute thingy.
Yeah.
That was his realism, but then the characters were very over the top, like someone like Bane. And whatever this thing was, like, why does he have this accent? I won't stop doing it. So, like, you know, that's not something that would happen. Although I do like that additional depth that they never gave us, but somehow it's like a part of the backstory now of like the Joker being like an ex-army or
apparently
military person, and like and all the scars stuff. So based on what, I don't know where that came from, but
that's just a rumor. I've seen it too. Yeah.
But then all of that Eastern mysticism with like the League of Shadows and Ra's al Ghul being Qui-Gon again and all that.
Yeah.
You know, that was all very, not over the top, but that was all very like mythological even. Okay. So there was no element of realism there. Yeah. Like even in Bruce's reaction to his parents being murdered was very like, he still got it together. Like he didn't need to go into therapy or anything.
Yeah.
Like he worked it out.
Yeah.
Like he was all right. Whereas in this movie, I feel like it's the other way around. So like environments like Gotham City, everything is like everything you would imagine Gotham City being, huge, dirty, raining all the time, neon, just very like not gothic in the Tim Burton sense, but just very oppressive.
Yeah. Looming over
like,
you.
I wouldn't want to go, exactly, looming over you. It's like a character in itself.
Yeah.
Whereas the people and the things that they've been through seem much more relatable. Like, you know, Bruce is an orphan that saw his parents murdered in front of him and he hasn't processed that. So he should be in therapy. He needs like a lot of drugs to deal with it. His mother had mental health issues. So now there's that element.
Yeah, whole new twist.
Yeah, so like, holy shit, maybe that's why Bruce is fucked up, because his mom, like, you know, genes and stuff.
Yeah.
So, and then the way his dad, like, you know, he's supposed to be a good guy, but he messed up as well. He went to the mob. He asked for a favor that he couldn't refuse. And like, you know, he paid for that. So I feel like the character interactions and the things and their backstories are much more realistic in this movie compared to the other ones.
Right. Sure. I think that matches. I would have put in BVS, but they never really showed any Gotham in there, and Metropolis was just some other city. And they had like, that was obviously like on a fantastical scale, that whole universe where there's like Superman, Wonder Woman, they're all there.
Yeah, and aliens and stuff.
Aliens too. So that's way deeper into the comic booky zone than this movie. But yeah, I think they managed it really well. Like the balance. I think these are definitely more on the Nolan side of the thing, but further than Nolan into making things weird. And, you know, like giving it all a tone, like not trying at all to be, oh, this could be here, right?
Yeah, it's not like a documentary.
Yeah. Interaction with Selina, how'd you feel that relationship was?
Like you could see these two getting together. It didn't seem weird or creepy, like like the in the Nolan movies, like that Bruce Wayne and that Selina almost seemed like brother and sister almost. Like there was no spark there.
Right.
Okay, but then going back to the Burton movies, Michelle Pfeiffer's Catwoman, I think
way too much spark.
Batman. Way too much. In this one, I think they balanced it really well. You can actually see them as equals.
Yeah.
I think they've got like pretty much the same kind of skill set, except Bruce has money and Selina doesn't. But she seems very nimble and she can actually get in and out of places, unlike Bruce.
Yeah. What about Alfred? How'd you feel about Alfred? Not much. He didn't do much.
They've changed the accent again. They've made him even lower class than any Alfred before. It's like with every movie, Alfred is getting poorer.
Yeah, in his background. Yeah. Jeremy Irons was pretty posh.
Yeah, they reposhed it compared to Michael Caine.
Yeah.
But then they added that little element of antagonism where like you feel like Alfred's almost like he resents Bruce or he's like pissed off at him or something.
Yeah.
It's not like Michael Caine where he feels like he was his dad. That dad element was gone after like, you know, Michael Caine.
Yeah, here when he says that I was supposed to protect your dad, it seemed like, maybe he wasn't a butler. He was a bodyguard or something. And now he's just become this character.
But even in this movie, did you see him doing any butlering? Because there was that other woman. She seemed like she was like the housekeeper.
And does she know?
This guy, he was like doing paperwork and reading, and signing things. It seemed like he was Bruce's PA or something more than his butler. And like, there's something about when I was working on the farm or in the circus.
Yeah.
So I think they've changed his backstory to something more like he was in the intelligence community or something instead of being like what the other Alfred was, who seemed like he was in the army because of his uniform.
Yeah.
If you notice that, he was wearing combat boots and a sweater.
Yeah.
And Michael Caine, who's Jeremy Irons, and then Michael Caine, who said that he was like a mercenary or something in Burma. So this Alfred seems like he was like in like, you know, MI6 or something like that. He was like in intelligence. Yeah. So just another different Alfred. But I felt like there was just very little, because he spent most of the movie in the hospital anyway. Yeah. So maybe next movie we'll see him do more. He just really didn't get to do much other than the bomb thing.
Overall, do you think you're going to go watch it again?
I was actually tempted to watch it again before we did this. Okay. But I'm also too lazy, and it's fucking 3 hours long. Like, that's my ass can't handle that.
Yeah. The length is
really long.
Cause for concern. Yeah.
But I think it's worth it. That first viewing, like, I didn't feel the length. I didn't feel like it was so long the first time I watched it. Just because there's so much going on, it actually does really, like, you know, it just pulls you in and it holds your attention for the entire thing. I felt like I watched like 3 movies in one. Like, there was just so much. There was so much movie. So much of value. But now that I've seen it, I'm like, I'll give it some time before I go again. Okay. All right. Well, I guess that's it for this episode of the second TPR Roundup episode. Thank you very much, Raheel. Let us know in the comments if you've made it this far, how you feel, what the thing is, and smash the like button. Hit subscribe. Send money. Use our sponsor code. Money. Use the sponsor code at the start of the episode. Which is for what? Male grooming. I think we could use that. I could use this. Legally, very much. Be obliged to. They should give us some free shit. All right, man. We'll talk to you later. Bye, everyone.